Okay, folks, this will be an interesting one. Let's see if we can make this one turn up a treat. This will be a challenging one. We're going to be up to the challenge, folks. Okay, let's see what this is. It is an Apple AirTag. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Apple. I'm not a big fan of Apple products, folks. They're really nice to look at and they really feel nice, but they're so expensive. What can I say, folks? I'm just not a fan of Apple. One of the things I hate is basically the way when you buy a watch, an Apple Watch, to set it up you have to use an Apple iPhone, and you can't do much without an Apple iPhone. You have to link the watch to the phone to get the best out of it, and it really seems a shame because it'd be nice just to buy the watch on its own. But that's not how Apple like to do things. And that's come up looking quite a treat, actually. But yeah, I don't like... Yeah, Apple's just a real money-making rort. It's just all about money and how much money this company can make. It's not really... Yeah, I know I can't afford much Apple. I had a couple of Apple... I've got an Apple iPad 2 mini. I got that as part of a bundle with my telco. I never got to use it as much as I would have liked to, but it came with the bundle. And I also had an iPhone 5S, which the battery eventually died on it. But yeah, Apple's just not as good as... I don't know. It's just all about money making and all that. I don't like Tim Cook. He's not basically a very good replacement to Steve Jobs. Even though Steve Jobs is reputed to be an asshole, at least he made better products than Tim Cook. I'm not a fan of Tim Cook. I don't like his shit. And that's come up looking really quite interesting. Yeah, I prefer Steve Jobs, if anyone. He had a real eye for innovation, so as to speak. He really knew what he was doing. He had his own style, whereas Tim Cook is just nothing by comparison. He just cares about money. In the end, all about money. It's come up looking quite interesting, actually. It's almost right in the middle of the page, actually, to make it look really nice. But yeah, it's a real shame that Steve Jobs had to pass when he did, because I do like him better than Steve Jobs. No, Steve Jobs is better than Tim Cook. I just think Tim Cook isn't anywhere near as good as Steve Jobs was. Just trying to find a place to put this in there. Going to stretch the Apple logo. Yeah, but my job in this world, folks, when they have technology to fix the damage that I did that was done to my brain at birth, I had a quarter on my neck and a came-out breech, and that's made me unable to learn new things and work in normal jobs. So I'm hoping that they'll have technology that'll fix the brain damage, and I want to work on fixing the photocopier industry. I want to redesign the photocopier from scratch, folks. And that's what I want to do. I want to be the next best thing in the photocopier world. You could say I want to be like a Stephen Jobs of the photocopier world, but no, I'm not going to be like Stephen Jobs. I'm going to be me. But it's going to be a similar concept. It's going to be revolutionary. There's going to be AI. There's going to be equipment that lasts for 60 years instead of 5 years. Stuff like that. There's going to be beautiful external panel finishes in stuff like anodized aluminium, like what Steve Jobs did to I think it's called the iPod Nano, or was it the iPad Mini? Not iPad. Forgotten, folks. Oh, fuck my memory shit. Whatever, folks. What fucking ever. Yeah, I was thinking the iPod Nano or the iPod Mini or something used to come in different colours, but that's pretty much as close to Stephen Jobs as I'll get. I don't want to replicate someone else. I want to be me, but there's still going to be some overlaps perhaps in the way things are made and how there's similarities, but I'm not going to be actually another quote unquote Steve Jobs. There'll be similarities, but I'm going to go higher. I'm going to make the world a better place. I'm going to make clean and green up the planet, source as many of the raw materials from electronic waste and other waste as much as possible. Use recycled materials instead of using mined materials. Mine it from rubbish tips, not from the ground. I don't know if I like that. It looks shitty, the colour in that. I don't know if it's going to look any good. I'm going to go back to what we just had. That looks shit house. But yeah, I really want to make a difference, folks. I want to just clean up the planet, clean up our environment, make the world a better place, and make people happy to use the product. Make the product a pleasure, not a fucking chore. So all sorts of revolutions I want to create with my new product. And there's not going to be any slave labour. There's not going to be any made in China or made in Vietnam. It's going to be all made in Australia. But yes, we do have some skilled migrants that will have, who become Australian citizens, and they'll have a job where they get a good wage and a good conditions instead of the fucking slave fuckery. And let's see how this simple looking minimalist piece is going to look. But yeah, Apple's a real status brand, I'm afraid. And I don't like that. It's got to be innovative. It's just shit. Anyway, enough of that. That's come up looking quite interesting. I think we can now call this demo quits.